Hi, I'm Nick, and welcome to my channel, the DIY Gardening Guy. I've put together this little video on how I built one of my many wicking buckets. If you like this video and it helps you, please subscribe to my channel, the DIY Gardening Guy. You like the video? So I've been making these buckets in one form or another for a few years now with some pretty good results. I've shared them many times on social media and always get the same questions. What do I use to make the wicking pot? How long did it take to build it? And how did I put it all together? So with that in mind, I put this little how-to DIY instructional video together with information on what tools and materials are needed and how to design and construct your own wicking buckets. And remember, don't forget to like the video if you found it helpful. So let's follow along. I really hope this helped you out. So there's some pictures of my wicking buckets right there. You can see I've got some nice success. I grow things like tomatoes, lettuce, capsicum. This year I even produced a dragon fruit it's basically a cactus in a wicking pot. What I've got here is your DIY 20-litre wicking bucket materials list. So you need a 20-litre bucket, of course, with a lid, 100 ml plastic plant pot holder, half a metre of 100 ml ag pipe, 25 ml water pipe, some cable ties, or a cable tie at least, tin snips or something similar to cut the lid. You'll need a drill, a 5 and a 10 ml drill bit, some perlite or something similar to use on in the wicking base, and some potting mix. So once I've sorted the materials, I take the bucket lid and I trim it down to fit inside the bucket. I like to use a physical barrier between the water, my reservoir, and my medium. I just prefer it that way. There's lots of ways you can do this. Some people don't put this in. I do. And I'll cover other ways in other videos. So for this one, I mark out and cut a hole in the center of the lid once it's trimmed, and then I fit my plastic pot plant holder inside, just make sure it fits, and then I put a whole bunch of holes in it. You can see they're all drilled there for drainage. I do want water to run through fairly easily down into the reservoir. I don't want it to actually stop any water getting through. The ag pipe is fitted into the bottom and simply cut to fit inside, as you see in the picture there. Notice I put some additional holes in there, and you can see the way the ag pipe sits, that's where my water pipe will actually sit in. So once it's all tested and to fit, and I'm happy that there's enough drainage, I'll move on to the next step. And that's setting out the plumbing for the 20-litre DIY wicking bucket. Firstly, I'll mark out and cut the lid where I want the water pipe to be. Then I'll place the lid and the plant holder and everything back in the bucket. I take my conduit and I cut it that I'm going to use for the water pipe. I cut it at a 45-degree angle. This just prevents it clogging up and having no problems later on down the track with things blocking it basically. I fit the bucket. I fit the pipe in the bucket through the purpose cut hole in the divider, and then I drill 2 holes on the side of the bucket where the water pipe sits, and secure it a cable tie in place around it. That just stops the little kids coming along and pulling it out. I've got grandkids, so I don't want my water pipes being pulled out. Trim off the excess cable tie, and I cut the water pipe at the height of the bucket. Once I've done that, I'm beside the location of where the water pipe comes up. I mark up from the bottom of the bucket 80 ml, and I drill a 10 ml water overflow drainage hole. And then I move on to the next step. So the DIY 20-litre wicking bucket, this is basically get growing. And I put perlite in the bottom over the top of the pot plant holder that I've put in the bucket, and I cover it with 20 ml. It's up to you whether you use this or not. I think you should. You can use something in there. Just I like another separation in the bucket again. You don't have to use it, but you do need that air pocket of around 20 to 30 mil inside the bucket between the water and your medium. So this is, for me, is quite effective. I place a small layer of compost on top of the perlite. I fill the bucket with soil. I add water. Sorry, I add plants, and I water the plants through the top of the bucket for the first week. And then after that, I simply water down through the pipe as the plants need it, and not really water through the top. They do get water through the top, obviously through rain and whatnot, but mostly it just goes in through the bottom, through the water pipe. So if you've enjoyed this video, please like and share it, leave a comment below, and subscribe to my page, the DIY Gardening Guide. Thank you.